Yo dabba dabba do! Hi guys, Andrea Garcia here. Today I'm going to teach you how to become one of the characters from the Flintstones, as you can see right here. I have a bone on my head, I'm a bonehead. But I'm basically going to teach you how you can become a character. You can be Pebbles, you can be one of the characters. This is actually a costume that's lots of fun to do with a group of friends, or you can also do it on your own. I'm going to go ahead and split the tutorial into 3 sections. In the first section, I'm going to teach you how I actually created my costume. Second section, I'm going to teach you how to create one of these little bones for your head. And the third section, we are going to talk about the hair, of course. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so now I'm going to break down how I actually created my Flintstones costume. Now for the costume, I actually found this really cool swimsuit that came together. It was pink and black, but you can go ahead and use any pink shirt that you have. Another Pebbles character wears green as well, so you can get a green shirt and just wear it with some black shorts and whatnot. I'll post plenty of pictures for the character inspiration on my blog, so you guys can check it out. But basically what I pretty much needed to make the costume, and also for Fred too, you guys can use the exact same technique, is you need a pair of scissors, a Sharpie, a thick piece of paper, and you need to have some black fabric paint. You can buy these at Michael's. These are really cheap. These are about $3, or these sell a bigger one. I believe it's like $8 or $10, something like that. But this is just regular black fabric paint, and you are going to need a paintbrush as well. So in order to create the costume, what you need to do is actually take a black Sharpie and just you are going to create a triangle stencil. But the cool thing about the Flintstones is that their triangles are not really like super triangle-y. They're kind of off a little bit. So you can create 1 or 2 that you like. So here I'm just going to freehand one of them. So I'm going to use that as my pattern for the costume. And then what you want to do is, once you have it on your piece of paper, is kind of fold it in a little bit like that. Take your scissors, make a cut, and then that way you are going to cut it out like this, and that way it will allow you to create a stencil that you can use throughout when you're putting it on your garment. And so just cut that out really quick. And then you are going to take your garment. So let's pretend that this doesn't have any of the black on there. All I'm going to do is then go through my garment, and I'm gonna put it down like this, and take a fabric pen or a pencil or a light pen that you want, and start creating the pattern all throughout. Just pencil it in, so then you have it down. And once you have it down, before you actually start painting them in with your fabric paint, what you want to do is actually take some cardboard, thick cardboard, and put it right underneath your garment, because otherwise once you're painting the fabric on, the fabric paint is going to go through onto the other side, and you don't want that. So once you're ready to paint, make sure that you put some cardboard right underneath it. So once you have your cardboard on there, take your paintbrush and then just paint them in. It takes a little while. I actually do not recommend using spray paint. Initially, when I made my first set of Flintstones costumes, I took a stencil like this and I bought spray paint, and I went like this, and it just smeared, and it was horrible all over the place. So if you really want something nice, I suggest actually painting them all in by hand. It's gonna take a while, but it's totally worth it. And after that, what I did is I actually went ahead and put some fabric glue over my black, and I actually added some black glitter, but that's just to bedazzle my costume, but you don't have to do that. So that's it. That's how I made my Flintstones costume, just using those materials. So let's go ahead and show you guys now how you can make the headpiece.
For the headpiece, you're going to need a white piece of paper, some scissors, a hot glue gun, some fabric stuffing, a large sheet of white felt, and a Sharpie pen.
Okay, so the first thing you are going to do is you are going to actually create a stencil using a piece of paper and a Sharpie. And basically what your end product is going to look like is something like this. So you want to go ahead and make a really cool big bone, which is going to be used to go on top of your head with your wig. And so since I already have this one, I'm just basically going to trace this. And this is leather, and I actually don't want that one to get ruined, so I'm gonna go ahead and trace it with a pencil instead. So let's do that. So I'm gonna take my other bone and create a stencil out of it. So basically create the stencil as to how big you want it. If you want it super, super big, by all means, go for it. I made one a good, decent size where it was big enough that you can actually see and make out what it actually is. So now that you have your stencil, as you can see here, I am actually going to create another line outside of that, and that's gonna be used to give you a little bit more room. So we're gonna leave some room all the way around. And you do always wanna cut more fabric or have extra fabric because it gives you a little bit more to work with when you end up cutting it. So now that you have that, as you can see, this is the actual size it's gonna be, but I wanna have some extra fabric around there when I'm sewing it or hot gluing it. So now you just wanna go ahead and cut out your pattern. And there it is. And now go ahead and take your white felt material, and you are actually going to be tracing 2 of these for your bone. Make some markings with my Sharpie. So there you go, you have 2 right there. And now go ahead and cut these out. So now you are basically, what you're going to do is you're going to be mounting one on top of another. And the good thing is that you had extra fabric all around. So now what you're going to basically do is you are going to hot glue these together all the way around. And then after that, we're going to stuff it. So let's go ahead and do that. Start very slow, but I'm going to be putting glue all throughout the edges there. And just start off with small little sections. Now, if you want this to be a lot firmer and you want your bone to last longer, what I actually would recommend doing is doing the same thing you're doing now. Instead of hot gluing it, just basically actually sew it. And as you can see, the black thread, it actually gives it like a really cool look on there, but I went ahead and sewed it. So depending on how long you want your bone to last, you can do either one. Okay, so let's finish this all the way through. Now before, just a quick reminder, you are going to be stuffing this. So you definitely want to leave one side of your bone open. Don't glue it all the way shut because then you can't put any of the stuffing in. So I'm gonna go all the way here and stop. And then I'm gonna leave the rest open so then I can start stuffing it. So you see there's like this little area here that's open now, but the rest is glued together. So now take your stuffing. This stuffing is just regular stuffing. You can buy this at Michael's by the bag. It's pretty cheap. A lot of times a lot of thrift stores just have bags of these that people give away because they end up not using them. So any stuffing of that sort will work. So now, start shoving some stuffing in there. In order to get it all the way to the bottom, I just recommend using a pencil. Get some in there. And just continue doing this until your bone is pretty stuffed to your liking. Okay, so now my bone is pretty much stuffed in there. So now for the tricky part, you're gonna go ahead and finish gluing this in. So put on some hot glue so you can seal it. Just make sure that you're very careful that you don't burn yourself because hot glue burns hurt really bad. So let's do that. So very carefully, just put it along the edge. And there we go. That's pretty much it. And your bone is completely done. And this is gonna go on your head now. And now for the final part, the hair, what to do with the hair. I went ahead and I bought this really cool wig at Party City, which I basically put on. If you guys don't know how to properly put on wigs with the wig cap, I have a tutorial that teaches you how to do so. So basically I just put on a fun wig, and then I took my bow, and all I did was I actually took a section of the wig hair from up here, and all I simply did was take that long piece and put it back here. So I have the bottom of it safety pinned right here, so it makes it look like the bow, the bone is actually part of my hair, and it totally has the signature Flintstones look. So that's it for the hair. Really simple thing to do. If you don't want to wear a wig and you just want to do it with your regular hair, again, style your hair how you want it and just basically take a strand, put it back, safety pin it so it stays on there, and there you have your bones. So that does it for the Flintstones tutorial. You guys can do this to any character that you want, Fred Flintstone, whatever. Apply the same method that I taught you. And if you guys create your very own Flintstones costume, please tag it, #FancyMadeDIY, or you can also directly tag me on Instagram at FancyMade. I want to see all of your creations so I can feature them on my blog. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave comments, questions, concerns, whatever below. And make sure to check out my site for some more fun DIY tutorials for Halloween and other cool stuff over at fancymade.com. And I will see you guys again soon. Love you guys. Bye.